That's good, Eddie! I expect the best from my daughter. Move! Who told you it was time to rest?
Hello everyone. Welcome back to General Sansan Anime. Previously, the emotional weight of the mission settled in, with grief and frustration filling the air. Nothing feels resolved yet. In episode 23, I expect the story to turn darker on a more personal level. The title, Smile, feels unsettling, suggesting something twisted or painful beneath the surface. This episode might dive into trauma, fear, and the unpredictable nature of the Titans. I have a feeling this will be an intense and uncomfortable episode to watch. Let's jump into the reaction and see what kind of smile awaits us.
Hold on. You mean you haven't heard? The Titan Kid and those big shot handlers of his have been summoned to the capital, which means they'll be passing through here today.
Is that so? Well, then maybe this time they'll just dissect him and get it over with.
I just hope he doesn't stir up any trouble. I say let him pass through and seal the gate shut behind him.
Infidel! To even suggest sealing the gate! The hands of heretics must never taint the sanctity of our walls! Mario, Rose, Cena! To even think of defiling the three goddesses, we tempt the specter of
These
damnation!
lunatics all worship the walls as if they're some kind of gods. It creeps me out.
Damn cult. Can't believe they're still around.
Let's go.
Look who's finally awake. You look so terrifying when you're asleep, I didn't dare disturb you. Probably should've. Sorry.
You've been pretty lax in your duties recently.
Look, Marlo, you've upset her.
She's antisocial, not upset. Knock it off, you guys. She fought in the Battle of Tross before coming here, which makes her the only one of us who's ever seen any real action. She's just been through hell. Probably takes time to readjust.
Ah, so you have a crush on the new girl, huh? What could you possibly see in her?
I don't know, Hitch. Maybe it's that she got into the MPs based on skill, unlike some I could mention.
Oh, I don't know what you're implying. Why don't you clarify?
That's enough, you two.
Great. Thanks, guys. I called you all here because I've got actual work for you today. Not just the same.
The morning unfolded peacefully for the soldiers stationed deep within the inner districts, a calm that had become almost routine for most of them. Yet for one young girl, that silence felt strange, almost unsettling. She was no longer forced to live with constant dread clawing at her chest. No titans smashed through towering walls, no cries of terror pierced the air, and no comrades vanished screaming beside her. For the first time in what felt like forever, she could walk through the streets without her heartbeat racing in panic. The world had grown quieter, gentler even, but beneath that calm rested an unspoken tension, like distant thunder waiting to break. At the same time, far closer to the political core of the capital, the military police regiment received an urgent summons. The order left no room for debate. Oren Yeager's transfer unit was to be escorted through the city to the central courthouse. Oren was no longer viewed as an ordinary soldier. He was a Titan shifter, a living embodiment of humanity's greatest hope and greatest fear, and every step he took seemed to carry the weight of mankind's future. According to the directive, the escort would pass through the upper residential district. For most seasoned members of the military police, this assignment was nothing more than another formality. For Maello, however, a newly assigned recruit, the situation stirred unease and curiosity he couldn't ignore. Why are we the ones handling this? Maello asked as preparations were underway. What threat are we even expecting here? The worst we usually deal with is a stolen purse or a drunk causing trouble. Is it really necessary to deploy this many soldiers just to move one person? His questions were met with indifference. The commanding officer barely spared him a glance, simply thrusting a bundle of sealed documents into his hands before turning away. The rookies can handle the paperwork, the officer muttered. The three of us will supervise. The message was unmistakable. The veterans didn't trust them. Ma'alo felt irritation flare in his chest, but he swallowed it down. He hadn't joined the military police because it was safe or comfortable. He joined because he believed the organization had rotted from within, and he intended to fix it. Corruption, complacency, cowardice. He wanted to tear it all.
Oh crap. It's got something to do with the scouts being summoned to the capital. Sometime today, they'll be passing through town along the main street. HQ has already provided a security detail, so we're only being asked to assist until the convoy's clear. ODM use in city limits has been authorized. You'll follow beside the convoy as additional security. There's a barge waiting to take you to the starting point. Dismissed.
Sir, a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
What exactly are we supposed to be protecting this convoy from, sir? It's just that I've never heard of anyone defying the government. They're just glad to be safe. There are petty criminals, sure, but I find it hard to imagine any actual organization existing within the wall that would attempt to strike. I mean, what possible motive would they have?
Man, aren't you serious? You can be in charge of this. Everything you need to know is right in here. We officers are busy enough as it is. Prove that you can handle this one yourselves. Oh, and you better not screw it up, got it? Hey, sorry about that. Back to business. Whose turn was it?
Damn, this stinks.
Got that right. The amount of slacking that goes on in this outfit is even more than I imagined. I mean, that is why I chose to join, but still, I might have thought twice if I'd known that meant the rookies got stuck doing all the work all the time. Seriously, I wish someone would have warned me.
Bastards. They're all irresponsible, self-absorbed imbeciles. All of them.
So what's that make you, Marlowe? You chose to join the military police. You're a slacker just like the rest of us.
You're wrong, Boris. I'm nothing like the rest of you degenerates. I joined up because the military police is in dire need of repair.
Wow, that was great, Marlowe. I never pegged you for the Crusader type.
Just how do you plan to fix it?
By working my way to the top, of course. And then once I'm in charge, I can install a new system to make sure all those who are dishonest pay for their transgressions. It's as simple as that. The MPs just need a little discipline. And nothing more. I'll shape them back into the people they're supposed to be.
Wow, that is something. And I thought you were a total buzzkill before.
Well, that's a rather lofty ideal. So, good luck with all that.
What's the point?
Huh?
I think if a do-gooder like you was actually put in charge of this regiment, you'd quickly find yourself working alone.
Really? That's the first thing you open your mouth to say?
Don't get me wrong. I don't doubt your sincerity. I know conviction when I see it. You're not the first person I've met who thought they could take on the world and change things for the better. It takes a lot of courage to go against the flow.
Allowed by the Roods. His goal was to rise through the ranks and reshape the regiment into what it was meant to be. Defenders of the people, not parasites feeding on them. As they waited for Aren's arrival, Ma'alo and several other recruits lingered near a narrow side street, killing time. That was when Ma'alo noticed something that made his blood run cold. In the shadows of the alley, two senior officers were speaking quietly with a pair of suspicious civilians. One of the men lifted the lid of a crate, revealing maneuver gear, brand new, unmistakably military issued, and clearly stolen. Disgust churned in Ma'alo's stomach. This wasn't negligence. This was outright treason. Unable to hold back, he stepped forward, his voice ringing out. That equipment was bought with public funds. You don't have the right. His words were cut short by a brutal strike to the jaw. Another blow followed immediately, sending him crashing to the ground. Warm blood spilled from his lip, but his anger burned hotter than the pain. He tried to rise, to shout again, but the officers simply tossed a handful of coins at him, as if bribing a nuisance into silence. Pick it up and forget what you saw, one of them sneered. Ma'alo reached for his weapon, fury threatening to consume him, but before the confrontation escalated, someone stepped in. Armand placed himself between Ma'alo and the officers, his voice low but firm. This isn't the moment, he said. You'll have your chance, just not like this. Grinding his teeth, Ma'alo backed down. The injustice sickened him, but he knew that causing a scene would only destroy any chance he had to change the system from within. Justice, he reminded himself, demanded patience as much as conviction. Soon after, the escort operation began. Oren's group entered through the inner gate, and Moello's unit moved into formation. As they advanced, Armin seemed increasingly distracted. His eyes flicked toward a nearby alley, where a cloaked figure subtly signaled to him. It was Annie. She wore civilian clothing, her expression tight with urgency as she scanned the surroundings. She pulled Armin aside without hesitation. "I need you," she whispered. "We have to get Oren out of here, away from the courthouse." Armin stiffened. "Are you out of your mind? If any—"
I respect that. Of course, it could be that you're all just a bunch of fools.
They might be, but don't go lumping me in with them. Is that understood? Enough chit-chat. Let's go! The escort wagons are scheduled to pass through the outer gate in 45 minutes. Once we arrive, everyone take up your positions. Got it?
Yeah. Hey, watch it, bud. What's going on? That's our gear.
Shipping it to the interior?
Isn't it a bit strange having the Merchants Guild conduct the transport? What are they up to? Are those bastards illegally selling government property?
Hey, this isn't our assignment.
Look at him. Crusader Man's the genuine article.
Well, I suppose we have time to spare. I bet this will be entertaining.
I'd say we've earned ourselves a drink. What do you think you're looking at, huh, rookie?
You can't sell government equipment. It's against the law.
Is that so?
Those supplies are the property of the hardworking citizens who paid for them with their taxes. And that means...
Can you believe this business? A rookie blackmailing his superior officers. I'm thinking you've got a bright future ahead of you, kid. Go spend it on a girl, all right? She'll help you unwind.
Wait! Hey! What you did was against the law!
Hey, wait! You're under arrest for a treasonable offense against an officer.
Blatant disregard for the rule of law
Is standard procedure. So is this!
He's had enough, don't you think, sir?
So sorry about that, fellas. I hope our idiot hasn't caused you too much trouble. We'll be sure to drive the lesson home, don't you worry. Unless, of course, you'd rather have a much bigger problem on your hands.
One notices. They'll kill him, Annie cut in sharply. If he goes to trial, they'll experiment on him. Torture him. Cut him apart. He won't survive. Her voice was steady, but the fear in her eyes was unmistakable, and it wasn't fear for herself. Annie never asked for help unless it was absolutely necessary. Armin hesitated, the consequences of her request crashing down on him. Helping her meant betraying his orders, committing treason. Yet standing there, faced with her desperation, he made his decision. "All right," he said quietly. "I'll help, but we don't have much time." Using Armin's authority and the military police's clearance, they passed checkpoint after checkpoint without resistance. To any observer, it looked like a standard transfer. Eventually, they reached the entrance to an abandoned underground passage. Armin explained that the tunnel led beneath a deserted district, somewhere no one would think to search. But just before entering, Armin stopped. I can't go with you," he said, forcing a nervous laugh. "I'm scared of the dark. I'd only slow you down." Annie's eyes narrowed. Something felt wrong. The streets were eerily empty, devoid of civilians or patrols. Armin's posture was stiff, his words too carefully chosen. Then she noticed his gear. She recognized it instantly. She had modified that equipment herself, the reinforced grips, the altered harness. It belonged to someone from her own unit. It should never have been in Armin's possession. Understanding struck like ice. So this was a trap, she murmured. Before she could react, Mikasa burst from concealment, her cloak flying aside as her blades flashed toward Annie's throat. Annie barely managed to evade the strike. The ambush had been orchestrated from the start. The moment she approached Armin, the net had begun to close. The Survey Corps had been watching, waiting, tightening the snare. Annie reached for her rein, the hidden blade glinting within its gem, but soldiers surged forward. They had anticipated this. Some had even wounded themselves beforehand to deceive her, knowing she needed injury to transform. They left her no opening. Within seconds, she was restrained, bound with specialized equipment designed to immobilize even a titan. She was dragged into the depths of the tunnel.
Just this once.
So, about that drink. Yeah, I worked up quite the thirst.
Go ahead. Aren't you going to make the dishonest pay for their transgressions? I'm not entirely opposed to helping you out with that.
Is it me, or do these serving gals get prettier with every sip?
Damn it!
Hey, little lady, you working hard or hardly working?
You boys are all the same.
Those people you know, the other fools you mentioned, would they have done it?
They might have.
I wanted to be brave, to go against the flow. But when it comes down to it, I'm just another piece of scum being swept away by the current.
Not sure what to say about that. Maybe that's just a part of what it means to be ordinary. Simply going with the flow. Is that so bad? To some people it makes you weak. But an ordinary person is all I want to be.
So, you're a full-fledged MP now.
Armin. So, what's with the outfit?
Why I'm in the rain gear, you mean? It's a makeshift disguise. Needed to conceal my ODM rank. See?
What's this about?
Annie, we have a plan for Eren to escape, and we're hoping that you'll help us.
Wait, escape to where? Stuck behind these walls. Where can you possibly hide that they won't find you?
Down into the buried ruins beneath the capital, an ancient, forgotten city now serving as the stage for a decisive clash. In the dim underground light, Annie remained silent. She didn't plead or justify herself. Her gaze moved calmly from face to face, Armin, Mikasa, the others, calculating, measuring. Her expression settled into familiar composure, tinged with resignation. She knew this wasn't the end. The air grew heavy as the truth set in. Annie had walked straight into their trap. Mikasa stood firm, blades ready, her resolve unshaken. Annie, meanwhile, weighed her options with cold logic. Transforming here would bury them all under collapsing stone. This tunnel was no battlefield, it was a prison. Armin stepped forward, his voice trembling. Annie, I'm sorry. We didn't want it to be you. But everything pointed your way. We needed confirmation. Her eyes flickered briefly before hardening. So Eren was never the point. You just wanted to corner me. Too many clues had aligned, the rain, her absences, her fighting style, her refusal. Annie turned away, jaw tight, a trace of regret crossing her face, not for what she had done, but for the inevitability of this moment. Then the tunnel shook violently. A piercing roar echoed through the depths. Dust rained from above. That's not her, Armin whispered. That's Eren. Above ground, chaos had erupted. Eren's transformation was sudden, incomplete, driven by confusion and fury. The shockwaves destabilized the city and the tunnel below. Knowing time had run out, Annie acted. Using the restraints as leverage, she cut her palm. Light exploded outward as steam filled the passage. The female titan emerged once more. She surged forward, smashing through stone as soldiers scattered. Mikasa pursued relentlessly, slashing tendons, refusing to let her escape. Annie roared and charged toward the surface, no longer hiding, only fleeing. Above, Erwin watched smoke rise from 2 points in the city. They've found her, he said. Levi nodded, already moving. Then we end it. With one final blow, Annie broke through into the sunlight. The city stretched before her, buildings towering, civilians screaming. The streets lay open now.
We'll only need to hide him for a short while. This isn't a mutiny. We have every intention of returning. View this as a few loyal scouts staging a small act of protest. It's a stall tactic. We need time to gather enough evidence to overrun the Council's ruling about Eren. That's all we want.
You're serious about this? How can you be sure the evidence exists? And what is it?
I can't say. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Armin. I'm gonna have to decline. My lips are sealed, though. Best of luck.
Hold on. Annie, please. They're going to kill Eren. They'll kill him for no better reason than that they fear what they don't understand. They don't see that their fear is pushing humanity to the brink of extinction. Maybe it's too late to change their minds. But what if we can? We have no choice but to bet everything on that chance. I'm sorry. The last thing we want is to cause you grief. But, well, the only way to sneak him through the wall seen at checkpoints is with the help of someone in the military police. It's our only hope.
But why me? Do I really look like that good of a person to you?
A good person? I don't know. Actually, I've never placed much value in those sorts of labels. The way I see it, good is merely a word applied to people who are convenient to our needs in some way. It's purely subjective. Any way you try to look at it, labeling people dehumanizes them. Regardless, if you still choose to say no to this request, then at least in my eyes, that makes you a bad person.
All right. Let's go.
We made it. Can't believe it was so easy. The military police hard at work. I'm almost surprised they bothered to show up at all.
Let's just keep moving.
Hopefully they haven't noticed my stand-in yet either. It's not gonna hold up under close scrutiny. After all, Jean and I look nothing alike.
It's close enough. You both have that same angry scowl and the same boulder-sized chip on your shoulder.
Well, yeah, but I don't have his horse face.
Hey, so if I had refused to help you guys out, then what was your plan B for getting over the wall?
We would have used our ODM gear to barge right through the checkpoint.
That's stupid.
Soon to become a battlefield. The chase had begun. As Annie burst into the open air, leaving shattered stone and rising steam behind her, the shockwave rippled far beyond the battlefield itself. In streets several blocks away, civilians froze in place as the ground trembled beneath their feet. Market stalls collapsed, glass shattered from windows, and terrified screams echoed through the narrow roads of the inner district. For many of these people, it was the first time in years that they had felt the unmistakable terror of a Titan's presence so close to home. The illusion of safety the walls provided cracked in an instant. Among those watching in disbelief as Ma'elo. He had been reassigned moments earlier, ordered to hold position near an outer junction of the district as confusion spread through the ranks. Orders came late, overlapping, sometimes contradicting one another. Smoke rose from multiple directions now, and the disciplined calm the military police prided themselves on was unraveling. When Ma'elo saw the towering silhouette of the female Titan emerge between buildings, his breath caught in his throat. So this is what they were hiding, he thought. All at once, the bribery he had witnessed earlier, the secrecy, the urgency surrounding Eren's transfer, it all connected. The corruption he despised had not only weakened the military police, it had left the city blind and vulnerable. And now, innocent people were paying the price. Civilians ran past him, some clutching children, others stumbling in blind panic. A woman fell nearby, frozen in terror as debris rained down. Without hesitation, Ma'elo rushed forward, pulling her to her feet and urging her toward cover. Around him, a handful of MPs stood uncertain, gripping their weapons but unsure whether to advance or retreat. "Why are you just standing there?" Ma'elo shouted. "Get them out of here." Some responded, snapping back into motion. Others hesitated, eyes fixed on the Titan in horror. In that moment, Ma'elo realized something painful and undeniable. Many of the soldiers entrusted with protecting the capital had never truly prepared for this reality. They had worn the uniform, enjoyed the privilege, but lacked the resolve. Above the chaos, Annie moved with brutal efficiency. Her massive form crashed.
Why didn't you just avoid all this trouble in the first place? You could have escaped before reaching Stohas, right? I mean, why wait till now?
I felt that this town's complex layout would allow us to squeeze a bit more time out of our body double ploy. Of course, a head-on assault is ill-advised, so as long as the convoy acts like it's following orders, then everyone keeps their defenses down.
I see. It's a very good plan.
There it is. Through here. It's what remains of an underground city they were planning to build way back when. And if I'm right, it should lead us to the vicinity of the outer gate.
Nice work, Armin. That's amazing. Annie, what's the matter? You're not afraid of dark, cramped spaces or anything, are you?
So what? So what if I am? I wouldn't expect a suicidal maniac like you to understand. You don't know what it is to be an ordinary girl, crippled with fear.
A girl who can flip a full-grown man upside down has nothing to fear from the dark. Cut the crap and let's move.
No, I refuse. I'm too afraid. Above ground, I'll help. Otherwise, the deal's off.
Being stubborn, damn it! Just get the hell down here! Move! We're running out of time,
Stop
alright?
shouting! Someone will hear you! I'm sure it's fine, Mikasa. It seems that for whatever reason, this place has been completely deserted. That hurts me. It really does. The way you're looking at me now. If I didn't know better, I'd say you didn't trust me. Hey, Armin.
Annie, tell me, what were you doing with Marco's ODM gear? It had all the same dents and scrapes. See, I helped him with maintenance, so I know you used it.
Yes. I found it. Found it and took it.
the 2 Titans we had in custody. It was you that killed them.
No one knows. But if you suspected all of this a month ago, why did you wait this long to say anything?
Through buildings as she ran, her focus fixed on escape. Every second mattered. She could feel the city closing in on her. Hooks slicing into her flesh, cables tightening around her limbs. Mikasa was relentless, her movements precise and unforgiving, striking whenever Annie slowed even for an instant. Inside the female Titan's hardened shell, Annie's thoughts churned. The mission had failed. Years of careful restraint, of living quietly among enemies, had ended in exposure. Yet beneath the urgency to flee was a deeper conflict, one she had buried for far too long. Faces from her time in the training corps surfaced in her mind. Laughter shared during meals, silent understanding during drills, Armin's voice, Mikasa's gaze, even Eren's reckless determination. She clenched her jaw. There was no room for hesitation now. As Annie leapt across rooftops, Erwin's plan unfolded with ruthless precision. Signal flares streaked into the sky, painting it with color-coded commands. Soldiers repositioned, blocking escape routes, forcing Annie toward narrower streets where her size became a disadvantage. Traps sprung one after another, nets reinforced with steel cables, explosive charges timed to disorient rather than kill. Levi struck when an opening appeared. He descended like a blade from the sky, carving through hardened flesh with terrifying speed. Annie screamed, not just in pain, but in fury, as she stumbled, her momentum broken. She retaliated blindly, smashing the ground, sending shockwaves outward. One such impact hurled Moello off his feet several streets away. He hit the ground hard, gasping for air. Dust filled his lungs as he struggled to rise. Through the haze, he saw something that burned itself into his memory. Survey Corps soldiers fighting not for orders or status, but for people they might never even meet. They moved without hesitation, bodies battered, blades dulled, yet still advancing. This is what soldiers are supposed to be, Moello realized. As he staggered to his feet, a fallen MP lay nearby, frozen in shock, staring at the devastation. Moello grabbed him by the collar. "Move," he snapped. "If you're going to wear that uniform, then act like it."
Because even now it's difficult. I didn't want to believe that I was right. So I stayed quiet. But then, out in the field, the fact that you didn't kill me then and there, that's the moment that set us on the path to our current situation.
Yes, we're here because I let you live. Of course, I never dreamed you'd end up cornering me like this. Why didn't I do anything then?
Annie, please! You've taken this joke far enough! Just tell us this is some kind of horrible prank! It's not too late! Come on, we'll understand! Come down, let's talk! You can prove to us that we're mistaken by walking down these stairs! We're wrong to accuse you!
We both know I can't. Like I told you, I don't have the constitution for it.
Annie, stop! We're talking about a matter of life and death!
Work with us, Annie! We can reason this out like human beings!
Enough! I'm not listening to another word of this. No point. I'm going to carve you up again. Do you understand me, Titan? You know, Armin, it's nice that I could be a good person for you. For now, at least, it looks like you won your bet. But I'm going to gamble too, and here's my wager!
was Annie Leonhardt. However, even when faced with irrefutable truth, Eren can neither bring himself to transform nor fight his former comrade in arms.
Thank you so much for watching this video on General Sansan anime. I really appreciate you spending your time here and sharing this anime journey with me. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Your support truly means a lot and helps the channel grow stronger every day. I'll be back very soon with more exciting reactions, emotional moments, and unforgettable anime scenes for all of us to experience together. Until next time, take care, keep enjoying anime, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.